Rensen drinkt van Hanegem. De bedoeling Cruyff. Cruyff wordt niet afgesloten voor buitenspel. En dat is scoren. Ja, natuurlijk. 1-0 voor Nederland. Johan Cruyff. En vraagt de herhaling.
Football is a game of mistakes. Whoever makes the fewest mistakes wins. Quality without results is pointless. Results without quality is boring. Every disadvantage has its advantage. Soccer is simple, but it is difficult to play simple. It's like everything in football and life. You need to look, you need to think, you need to move, you need to find space, you need to help others. It's very simple in the end. You have got to shoot, otherwise you can't score. The most important part are the fans, that people going home are happy. It's their time off, and you should give them something to enjoy. Football is a game you play with your mind. To win, you have to score one more goal than your opponent. Sometimes something's got to happen before something is going to happen. Speed is often confused with insight. When I start running earlier than the others, I appear faster. Without the ball, you can't win. There is no greater medal than to be acclaimed for your style. I'm not religious. In Spain, all 22 players make the sign of the cross before they enter the pitch. If it works, all matches must therefore end in a draw. I don't want to be a thief of my own wallet. Coincidence is logical. Football is now all about money. There are problems with the values within the game. This is sad because football is the most beautiful game. We can play it in the street. We can play it everywhere. One trophy is good, but two are better. That way, when a hero wears his medals on his chest, at least his steps are level as he walks by. I look at Messi, and he makes me laugh. A beautiful footballer who is still like a kid. A world superstar, but still a kid. Innocent, you know. He just plays. Italians cannot beat us, but we can certainly lose against them. There are some people who might have better technique than me, and some may be fitter than me, but the main thing is tactics. With most players, tactics are missing. You can divide tactics into insight, trust, and daring. In the tactical area, I think I just have more than most other players. Before I make a mistake, I don't make that mistake. Ajax is a multicultural club, and we have found that many talented immigrant players quit when they reach puberty. So we wanted to tackle this problem with someone from the same background who had come through it. And that was Edgar Davids. During one of our fights, I pointed that out to him. But it had nothing to do with his skin color. Football should never be a worry. It should be exciting. When a child plays football outside, he doesn't need to worry. Professionals should be the same. When I don't have control of the ball, what do? I press to get it back. It's a way of defending. Footballers from the street are more important than trained coaches. My generation put in a lot more hours playing football after school than kids today. These days, all the football these kids play, they play at their clubs, so the clubs need to work seriously on the basic skills. I wanted to get my coaching badges after retiring, and I asked to take the exam, but they told me I needed to study for 4 years. I told them they were crazy. Who is going to study for 4 years? How is someone going to teach me technical things when I know more than they do? Football is about having the best offensive play possible. I always like to play offensive football, and nobody will convince me otherwise. When I was playing in the Ajax youth teams, when I was, say, 14, 15, you started to get all those international youth tournaments. All those English teams came. Well, the English were much further than we were. Football is not about suffering. It's about enjoyment. Control the ball, be friendly with it, try to attack, try to score goals. Of course defending is part of it, but you can defend in a lot of ways. This is the great crisis in football now. It's not just Rangers, it's a lot of clubs. Big clubs always create more debt despite the huge income they have. It's almost an achievement, isn't it? They make so much money, and yet, still, their debts rise and rise and rise. How does that happen? It's absurd. I learned my English from Keith Spurgeon. He had some small children, and I was young, too, and so we spoke the language together, and it was fantastic. My foundation now has some 120 football pitches laid out for children, a lot of them immigrants. We live in a multicultural society. It's disappointing to see how football, the world's #1 sport, is not #1 when it comes to development. It seems to me that a wealth of practical football knowledge is being squandered. Ajax was spending too much money, they were buying players that were too expensive. If you get 100%, you can't spend 120%. It's quite easy. When I don't have control of the ball, what do? I press to get it back. It's a way of defending. But more important is that I like to have the ball. That's why I believe in individual coaching sessions to prepare players properly. Van Gaal has a good vision of football, but it is not mine. He wants to gel winning teams and has a militaristic way of working with his tactics. I want individuals to think for themselves. I always delegate. If someone is very good at something, whatever it is, he will be in charge. I always use the basic quality of people to achieve what I want to achieve. That's a different way of thinking. I always love that they do things. And when it goes wrong, well, try to correct it in one way or another. Everybody could use the money, but you don't play for it, you play with your heart, and that's a big difference you see in Barcelona. Everybody wants to play there, everybody wants to enjoy themselves. It's maybe a small percentage, but maybe it's the difference. All these countries like Holland and Scotland, they create their own problems. They are always complaining, but they don't solve anything. Don't look at what you don't have, look at what you can create. It's unbelievable. I changed the way Barcelona played. Now, Spain have had to change. For years, we have had many coaches in football, but there are no teachers anymore. And you see that in the play itself. Coaching courses are still much too theoretical, and this is what you see reflected in the basic technical skills of the average player. I even see things deteriorating. If you take golf, you have a teacher for the drive, a teacher for the approach play, and a teacher for the putt. That's 3 specialist coaches for one player. In football, one coach looks after 25 players. How can you create a team and bring all these egos together? The main goal for Manchester United is for them to play well, and not have a player saying, "I play well, I scored 2 goals." Because if I score 2 goals, but 3 goals go into our net, then we lose. If you look at other countries, you see they have different values: defend more, pass the ball out more, winning is holy. In England, you could say that sport itself is holy. They say, "Look, guys, it's about more than just winning." The disabled people that do sport, they don't think about what they don't have but try to get better with what they do have. That is the same for me. In the Premier League, the money is a problem, but I don't really know how to control it. The romance of English football is fantastic, but it has lost its identity under the influence of other cultures.